Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with me Ep1 Farhan, and today we have a special guest Pranto with us. Say hi.
Hello.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, bro. And today we are doing something a bit different. Today we are not going to be doing our regular product review, unboxings whatsoever. Today we are gonna have a chill podcast with Pranto here, and we are gonna discuss a lot of the tech news, rumors, and also we are gonna talk about some official news and also unofficial news too. So let's get started. In the beginning, I want to talk about Samsung Galaxy Unpacked event, which took place in August 11th. So, Pranto, what was your most favorite announcement that day?
To be honest, I really like the Z Flip 3. It looks the best out of all three of them. The
Yeah,
Fold 3
exactly.
was really disappointing. I didn't like the Fold 3 that much, to be honest.
The
The Z Flip
fold,
3, yeah, it definitely seems the best.
according to the rumors, it was
Exactly.
supposed to look like the S21 camera bump, which, if they did go with that, two-toned, I would have like appreciated that. But yeah, it doesn't look
Yeah.
really good.
Acha. So like when the whole Fold thing started, what was the main thing that everyone got excited for? It was different. It was new, right? Like unlike the
Exactly.
rest of the slabs that we used, it was new. But this just fades into the background like all the other phones. To be honest,
Exactly. It
that's
doesn't
the only
have
thing.
any, that spark in it. There isn't any spark whatsoever in that Fold 3,
Exactly.
except for that two new additions. For example, the under display camera and the S Pen, because S Pen cannot be kept inside the Fold 3, and that under display camera seems like a really low quality one. So I don't know, outside of like video conferencing you won't really use it that much, right?
Yeah, I think that was although I got to agree on Samsung on this one, at least it's there. Like if you need it for like Zoom and stuff. Like if you're
Hmm.
gonna do a Zoom call, you properly use the like inner display, right? That would be
Yeah,
way better than using the small outside display. So at least
indeed.
it makes sense. But that pen thing, it doesn't. That pen
It
thing, it
doesn't make
makes no
sense
sense to
in
me at all.
any way, especially the Pro variant. Like that doesn't even fit into the case that is eligible for the Fold. You have to carry it separately. I don't know why, and that is
It's like
not
a even
intuitive.
worse version of the Apple iPad first gen pencil.
Oh man,
At
I
least
would
that
take
thing.
that. I would take that lightning port on the below any day over that S Pen, which has to be charged separately. Like it cannot even be
Yeah,
connected with your
exactly.
phone.
At least you could charge the pencil with like your iPad. That thing needs a
Yeah,
separate charger, right? Makes no sense to me. I don't know what were they thinking. Like, Samsung, you're better than this. What the hell? Acha, I'm gonna ask you about something.
yeah.
Do you like the new design stuff that Samsung's going for, the new aesthetic? Do you like it, or is it
I'm
not
gonna
for you?
say this, that it looks simplistic, minimalistic, and what they have done with the Flip 3 is excellent, and I really dig into that look. I mean, the two-tone finish, it kind of does not look like the regular Samsung stuff. It looks like something
Yeah,
straight out of a concept YouTube video. Like you watch this concept YouTube videos, right?
it
It
looks like a
looks like one
pixel.
of
It looks
those.
like a pixel,
Yeah, it looks like a
like a
pixel,
pixel
and
thing. Yeah, it looks extremely nice. It's my favorite out of all this, and
yeah.
to be honest, it's a new way to like separate the lineup. To be honest, my favorite design still to this day, my favorite design is the Note 20 Ultra. To be honest, that
Yeah,
thing
that looks
looked
nice.
like that looks extremely nice to me, and like they could have gone for this like the minimal like the simplistic design for the S line and the more luxurious design for the Note. I think that's something they could have gone for.
Another thing is that like this year Samsung themselves at the beginning of the year said that they will be like focusing on the folds more than the Note, and also bring the features to like their foldable lineup so that it can compete against the S series. And on that regard, I think Samsung have done a terrible job. Like, who in their right mind with a perfectly fine Note 20 Ultra, sorry, Note 20 Ultra find the fold a tad bit attractive? The design is just meh. The pen is not integrated properly, so it doesn't look appealing though, right?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't look like a Note, to be honest. If they were going for the replacing Note thing, then they didn't do even close to a single thing that would replace the Note. It's not even
Exactly.
close to what Note. Like as a Note user, both me and my father, we both are in love with the Note.
Yeah.
We have been using the Note for a long time, and to be honest, it's really disappointing that they just went away with the Note. Yeah, it's not ready yet. And even if did it, even if they just, I would rather they just put they would just go away with the fold stuff. They would just make it the new Note is the fold. Then what the bullshit was doing.
Exactly. I think just a small place where you can put the S Pen. I would even take the like little bit sacrifice on the battery side and just take a place where you can put the S Pen in. Right? That's what I would do.
Speaking of the
And
battery, what's your impression on that? No, it's smaller. Last year it was 4,500 milliamps, and this year it's
yeah, exactly. It's
4,400.
smaller by 2 to 3%. And the thing with the folds is that it has two separate screens. Both are power hungry,
Yeah,
and they do need a bigger battery
1/3.
size. By the way, what's your view on the durability side? Like, this is the first time we have got to see water resistance on a foldable device. What's your view on that?
Yes, I think this is one of the few things that really seemed good to me, to be honest. It's the only thing that seemed like that sparked a bit of curiosity in my mind, that how did they get water resistance in that thing? Like,
Yeah,
dang,
now,
that must have taken a lot of effort. Yeah, because the primary concern about holding phones to this date, still the durability, right? Yep. On that note, they have done very well. Yeah, that's the only thing.
yeah.
Still, other than that, I'm quite disappointed. Uh,
But I am pleased at the
because
Flip 3 though.
Yep, that Flip 3, that seems like a very good option to me. For $1,000, that's pretty good.
It
Like,
has
yeah,
meaningful changes, like the bigger outer
yeah,
display, a really nice
that is new.
design.
Yeah, basically at this point, Samsung just like, yeah, we are already the best in this category. Why are we gonna do more? Let's just try to make it better for the consumer. But it's not exciting. It's not exciting at all. It's just the same
Yeah.
thing again. Yeah, exactly. At least, like, I think the main thing that I'm disappointed with, worst things are the camera. They should have upgraded that at least, and the battery. These are the two things these are the two things that really like sucked in my opinion. I still wouldn't recommend the Fold to anyone. The Flip, yes,
Yeah.
I'd recommend to a lot. The Z Flip, I think, yeah, it's good. It's good enough, I'd say. But I still think if they could bring it down just a bit, at least even if they didn't bring it, the only thing that's missing, I guess, it's the third telephoto camera. That's the only thing that I
Yeah,
really have a problem with. Because
indeed.
the rest of the phones in this price point, they have like 3 cameras, and this does
Hmm.
only 2. That's the
But
only thing.
at
Other than that, it's quite a good package.
but at least this year we can like recommend people the Z Flip 3 alongside other flagship at this price point. That wasn't a possibility a
Yep.
year back. Okay, now let's talk about that active no, that's Samsung Galaxy Watch 4. They simplified that
Yeah, exactly.
lineup
And
a
the
bit.
classic.
Yeah, classic and then regular one. So what are your views on that?
Um, Fine, I guess. I still think like the classic thing. I think it might work, but I still think they should have like given it a pro or something, because classic just seems like, I don't know. It doesn't exactly like tell me that it's better. You know, like when you hear the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, you immediately know it's better than the Pro, better than the Plus, and better than the S20, right? But when you hear the Galaxy Watch 4 and Galaxy Watch 4 Classic, do you think it's a better one, or do you think it's like, do you
I
like really know that it's the better one?
I feel like classic seems like the starting point while the regular one is the better version. It feels like that
Yes,
to
I
me.
yes, exactly.
So where were we? We're talking about the Samsung Galaxy Watch. Now the only thing that I'm
Yeah,
pretty excited about on that is the
the OS.
software.
Yep. But their design really doesn't strike me as like really good. to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you on that note. And to be honest, the first Galaxy Watch with the rotating bezel, I think, is still the best Samsung design as in terms of
Yes.
watch. Other
Yeah,
than
that's
that,
the one
everything,
thing that always attracted me.
yeah,
Like other watches, they always seem so bland and stuff. And then Samsung comes here with this rotating crown. It's way better than moving it on the touchscreen with the smeary fingers. Yeah, I really like that design, and it seems it's at least they're not moving away from it. They just separated it, and it's not bad. I would still have gone with like the Galaxy Gear 4, Galaxy Watch. Oh god, I still confuse that thing with the Gear. The Galaxy Watch
same.
4 and the Galaxy Watch 4 Pro or Plus or anything like that. I'd
Yeah,
still have
anything
liked
like
that.
that would have been just fine. I agree with you on that. Classic and non-classic doesn't really mean that much. Okay,
As a Galaxy, you own a Galaxy Watch Active 2, right?
Active 2.
So what's your thought?
And the Galaxy Active 2 for the price is an excellent watch. I agree on that, and I think Samsung really nailed it. But charging $249 on the regular watch 4 while $349 on the classic variant, no, I can't recommend that.
Yeah, same here. It's a bit too expensive. Especially like at least the standard one should come down a bit, I guess.
Indeed,
Like
indeed.
200, I guess. 200, that seems fine.
I mean, I get it. They're competing with the Apple Watch SE and the Apple Watch Series 6. I get that viewpoint. And they also simplified the lineup. But at the end of the day, you also have to keep in mind that instead of competing, you also have to keep your customers in your mind while renaming and doing that stuff.
Yeah, and Samsung is not exactly Apple, right? Apple can just like put any price on it, and some people will buy it.
Yeah,
Samsung not like that.
exactly.
Samsung's ecosystem isn't like that. Samsung can just like Samsung's customers, they can easily leave. That's one thing that
Indeed.
many people have been talking about.
Exactly. And another thing that they announced and flew right under the radar is the Buds 2, Galaxy Buds 2, right? That was named.
Yes, it flew under the radar, but it's quite a decent pair of earbuds, to be honest.
Yeah, for the
I-
price especially.
Yeah, for the price, it's good. But here's another thing: I don't like the design that much. The Galaxy Buds had a
Exactly.
really cool design to me.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
one. The first one was excellent.
These look like plastic cheap earbuds. They look cheaper than like this Xiaomi pair I have. Even these look better than those.
Yeah,
These-
I agree, and I'm wearing the Lenovo AirPods Lite. This looks better than that. This
Yeah,
is
this
an
looks way better
800
than that.
taka pair of earphones. Think about
Yeah,
it.
like I think the Purge's review, and they already had these like scratches and stuff on it. It looked so bad to me.
Oh
It's
my
disgusting.
god, the glossy. Why did they even use glossy plastic, man? Like Cano.
The rest of the lineup, the entire thing is like matte, black. All
Exactly.
their phones are matte black. Then why are they using glossy on?
Now we are done with the Galaxy Unpacked Event. Let's move to a bit unofficial / official news. We are gonna start with Google here. First up, the official news. The Pixel 5a flew right under the radar. It's like there are 2 videos that went on my recommendation in YouTube, but other than that, I haven't seen any press coverage.
I just saw the MK page review and I just forgot all about it. It went right under the radar, and honestly deserved to be. It's the same phone. You're just gonna get an additional year of software updates, and it's just a bit bigger. That's all.
And a bigger battery. I think that was not the way to go. They could have just skipped it already for this year. If they are going to release the same phone again, you could have just skipped it, right?
Yeah, I think they should have just kept the 4A 5G. They didn't need to do this. Like, why?
I mean, imagine going to eBay listings or Amazon and finding a 4A 5G at like $299 or $399, and a 5A at $459. And of course, if you see the spec list, which really matters to a regular user, the spec list is completely same, not even 120 Hz display. What would you choose?
Yeah.
Of course, you would go with the 4A 5G at a much lower price.
Okay, here's another thing. Did you ever really like find the 5G, the 4A or the 5A 5G? That price, did it really attract you? To be honest, because I always look for the 4A, the 4A 5G.
The at like 299, I think that was a crazy deal. That was a crazy
Yep.
deal. But not the 4A 5G, bro. Never. I mean, if you look
4
at the
5G.
5, the Pixel 5, that had a better build, better screen. I agree with that. But they tried to, like, close the gap between the 4A and the 5, and they just ruined it completely. They could have just went 4A, 5A, 5. It would have been just
Yeah.
fine.
Exactly. It's a bit too convoluted. Again, I use the same word, but yes, it's convoluted. Why?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the tenor chip in Pixel 6. Okay, there's a bit of a rumor that is not confirmed yet. Oh my god, my dogs. Oh god.
Is it the Exynos one? The Exynos, like,
Exactly, the rumors said that it's an unreleased Exynos 2000 series chip, and if that is really the case, I don't think it would have much of a good or positive response from the audience, because we all know Exynos chips tend to be slower in performance, less power efficient, and also thermally it's not good at all.
I still have my hopes up though. Like Google, it seems like Google brought out all of their guns for this Pixel 6 release, and
Yeah.
Pixel 6 is really, it's the most exciting thing this year for me, to be honest.
I mean, the design is excellent. I gotta agree. The
Yeah.
design looks new. It's fresh. It sparks a joy
Yeah.
in you.
It reminds me of the old Samsung aesthetic, to be honest. The old, like
Uh,
the Note 9 and stuff.
the front Note 10, the back
Yeah.
S10. That's the
Yeah.
inspiration.
Yeah, it looks a little bit too. It looks very premium. That's all. Like the new
Yeah,
Samsung design, it doesn't really strike me as that premium. The Note 20 Ultra, as I said, it looked very premium. But the Pixel 6 Pro, yeah, that thing's luxurious. Yeah,
indeed. I gotta
yeah,
agree. I gotta agree. And to be honest, if like Google has great optimization with an unreleased Exynos chip, I would be just fine. But if they do not tune it at all and just take it from Samsung and slap it on, no, bro, that's gonna be a huge disaster. Like bhalo, we need a good picture processing, because it's a pixel at the end of the day.
yeah,
We need good power efficiency, because we all know that pixel flagships are not quite strong in terms of battery, and also we need good performance as opposed to the one which was in Pixel 5, because a 765G doesn't really look like a flagship processor.
yeah. Basically, it has to be like equivalent or better than the Qualcomm chip. That's all.
Yeah, exactly, that's all we need. And also, in talking about Exynos chips, this is completely out of the Pixel coverage, but AMD and Samsung collaborating on their graphics and CPU, I think would be dope. Like, think if you
Yeah,
get desktop quality ARM AMD graphics and also a power efficient Exynos chip, that would be fire.
yeah. That is exciting. I really have my hopes up. Like, to be honest, I expected Samsung really let me down, and I'm hoping for better. Yeah.
Indeed.
I hope.
And I could also see the possibility of Samsung ARM Galaxy Books with that AMD and Samsung collaboration and with that Exynos chip, and that would be like a equivalent MacBook killer. We don't know what happens next, right? Suppose, like for example, in Mac OS, although the chipset is really nice, the CPU has a lot of cores and is fast enough. Talking about graphical side of things, it's kind of weak on that point. This
It's
is
quite.
the
Yeah.
only this is the only reason they haven't upgraded their iMac Pro with the M1, because iMacs have a dedicated GPU, and of course M1 cannot collab or associate properly with an external GPU here, and we have seen
Yeah.
that with Thunderbolt, the Thunderbolt GPUs that connect externally. We have seen
Yeah.
them.
Don't worry.
Yeah, indeed. Now, if AMD and Samsung can get their game right, then we can potentially see a great MacBook killer with that same level of battery life, performance, and also better graphical performance, allowing creators having a better computer in their hands.
Yeah. Samsung Samsung makes really good laptops. The only they just have to make it a bit more. I think, like, how do I say this? Um, it's like it's not really, they don't market it that much. That's the only thing.
They need
And
to spend
also
more on the R&D.
yeah, and also their decision to stick with the 16:9 display, it sucks. Like I
Exactly. Even in tablet mode, 16 by 10 is really like beneficial to the end
almost
user,
by
because
two.
why,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly, when you like draw with your pen on tablet mode, you get more vertical and horizontal space, and that is really beneficial. And 16 by 9 is kind of outdated. I'm gonna say it out loud,
yeah,
it's outdated.
yeah, exactly. That's why I really love this shoe. This display is the best part of my MacBook, and I
Yeah.
really hope Samsung brings 3 by 2, at least 10, 16 by 10. That's good enough for me.
Okay, now this is a pretty interesting conversation, but um what are your views on Chrome OS? Now I know this is like totally out of the blue, but what do you think about Chrome OS?
I actually find it very well. Like I really like it. I really like Chrome OS. It seems very it like Google's like perspective on this. It seems right. It seems that yeah, that's the future. That's what kids are like. Kids. That's what the future is gonna be. And you can see that because the MacBooks and the Windows, they all copied the same aesthetic. They all went from for the same like phone style interface that Google first started. Right. That's why I
Yeah.
really think it's right. It's I
Now
really like it. I actually planned on installing it once and trying it out, but then I decided it's gonna be a bit wonky. And yeah, but I still want to try it out.
that is the exact reason why I asked you, because I myself personally took a step and tried it out on my
Yeah.
2008 Lenovo ThinkPad T400, and that feels so good. It feels like it's like a modern laptop, and it performs like let's say a mobile phone from 2019 or so. I know you can't do any heavy tasks like gaming or video editing, but for like students,
Good enough.
for, yeah, it's extremely good. And also another aspect of Chrome OS that I really found useful and beneficial is the fact that it's so user friendly, bro. You can teach a child and also an elderly person to use it and they would be just fine,
Yeah,
unlike.
exactly. I faced this a few years ago. So my sister, we actually first like her first experience with tech at all was like my iPad Air 3. Like she basically uses it now. So when I upgraded and my old laptop, it's a HP laptop. It's nothing special. It has like 480 fifth gen. It's quite old. So I gave it to her, and she's like, "What should I do with this? Where is everything? What? Yeah." She's like, she tried to
Yeah.
touch the touchscreen. She's like, "Ini কাজ করতেছে না কেন?" She's like, she doesn't even know that it doesn't have a touchscreen. It's for her, for people like her. And then it's really good Chrome OS. I installed it on her laptop a few days ago. She's loving it so far. And yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
because you, when you look at the fact that Chrome OS can run on pretty low hardware, mobile ARM chipsets too. See, not everyone can have the budget to cash out on a $600 $700 Mac OS or Windows laptop. Whatever even talking about, Mac OS laptops start at 1,000 and not
Thousand.
everyone can afford that. So at $200 $300, Windows laptops generally suck. You can't even do web browsing properly. Chrome OS on the other hand, it basically makes Chrome the centerpiece of the whole OS, and as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection, yeah, you can do
You're good to go.
anything you want. And what I found surprising is that I realized I do most or around 80% of my work on a web browser. So Chrome OS did not restrict me that much, except for video editing, of course.
Yeah, that's it. To be honest, like it's still quite disappointing that you can't buy a like Chromebook in Bangladesh without paying a massive margin on it. Like
Oh my
we start
god.
future Bangladesh, digital Bangladesh, and where's the Chromebooks? Where the cheapest laptop for everyone? Where's the cheapest
Another
laptop?
thing, or let me tell you, I think around 90% of the schools in Bangladesh use cracked or pirated Windows on their computer science lesson PCs, right? They can just go with Chrome OS. That's a really nice learning. Like a beginner's OS should be Chrome OS. It's that
Yeah, in
good.
Bangladesh, like paying for Windows is it's basically absurd. All right, it's
Yeah,
like oh sorry, it's like
no worries.
why would they do that? Like in US or some other countries, if you like didn't pay for Windows and if you pirated it, you'd be judged for like being cheap or being like
You
obviously
can
you did
also
something
get
illegal.
legal
But
actions against you.
yeah, and in Bangladesh, if you do that, if you actually pay for Windows, you're gonna be like, কেন তোমার কি টাকা নষ্ট করার ইচ্ছা হয়েছে তোমার কি like,
বেশি বড় লোক নাকি?
টাকা পুরানোর মতো পুরান লাইক তোমার কি আগুন ধরানোর ইচ্ছা হয়েছে এইসব so
Yeah.
that's why it's really absurd like why go just bring Chromebooks already.
And Google themselves last year bought Neverware, as far as I know, and Neverware makes Cloud Ready OS, which is a totally open source, free to use Chromium OS, which is the one I installed on my laptop myself. And to be honest, for free, you can do a lot of stuff. And if you still want to go with that, paid version, you get a bit more. Let's say elasticity or freedom with using work or student email IDs. But other than that, I think Chrome OS should be the one used in like schools and all, because let's face it,
It just makes sense.
those PCs also do not have that much capable hardware.
Yeah, like capable like actually like Chrome OS is the perfect thing for like most consumers. I'd say like 80% of people could do 80% of what they need on in Chrome.
Indeed, not everyone uses video editing apps and gaming, right? That makes
Yeah,
sense
like for
if
my
you are.
myself, I wouldn't mind going to Chrome. The only legit like app that I have installed is Discord, and even that I use on the web for until like a few months. Yeah,
Got it. And now let's talk about another thing, which will be the last topic for today. Unfortunately, although I'm really enjoying this, it's been a long time since we are rolling.
yeah, yeah.
So the last topic for today would be OnePlus. RIP OnePlus. Moment of
Seriously,
silence for OnePlus. Oh
so
man.
disappointing. So what would you say was the last good phone that they made?
Last good phone that they ever made was the 8 Pro. That's it. Nothing else.
I'd go
Not
even
even the
more to be
80.
honest. I'd go 70, like 70 Pro. That's the last phone that really like attracted me, and since then it's been all downhill.
Also, I think the OnePlus 7 announcement was one of the biggest ones too. Like it was so hyped, and they legit took a big stage and announced it. Right? It was fun. It was really nice.
Yeah, they went for the pop-up camera and stuff. It really
Yeah,
embodied like the OnePlus thing that never settled. But then in on the OnePlus 8 series, it was a good phone, yes, but they settled. That was the main thing, right? They went down from
yeah.
a like pop-up camera, they went to the punch hole. Even though like most people didn't have any problems with the pop-up camera to this day.
Exactly,
So
exactly my point. And the 9 was just meh, and that Hasselblad, man, the camera is still the same OnePlus quality, and it did not do
yeah,
anything. So why do a brand collaboration which will cost you money? Because that phone would have costed
yeah.
you around 600 to $800 price segment if you did not go with the Hasselblad branding. So I think that's the place where they really went like kinda dead actually.
They decided to pay Hasselblad money, and then they went ahead with a plastic frame on the OnePlus 9.
Oh man. Uh, and okay, now that reminds me of another thing, and that is that if you talk about the most recent last OnePlus phone that
Yeah,
was good, I would say the Nord, because for most people the Nord makes
yeah,
sense. And right
yeah. The
after
Nord
the
was at least
Nord,
it makes sense. Yeah,
yeah,
the
it
Nord
makes
2
sense.
isn't that bad as well. That's all.
Yeah,
That's also quite good.
but the Nord N100, N10, CE,
About
those are
OnePlus
just
9.
bullshit. Straight up bullshit, man.
Yeah, they are a ripoff. Honestly, I've never paid that like that much for a OnePlus phone. I'd rather buy a used like old OnePlus phone. That's way better than buying that.
Yeah, but I still miss that, that old OnePlus with that, every year they came up on stage and just broke the internet with their price tag. Like, remember OnePlus One with the cyanogen mod? Whoa, man! I still remember that glory of OnePlus back then, and
It was
I
like
don't know where
three
they
hundred
go.
dollars or something, I think, right?
299, 299
Yeah, yeah,
for a
299.
phone with Snapdragon 801, and 801 at that time was being used on Nexus 7 made by LG for $600. It was basically half the price.
The S5 also for $700, I think.
Yeah, exactly, it was so good. And look
Yeah.
at OnePlus now, they are basically merging themselves with a company that has less, like, I know they have more resources, but Samsung would have been just fine being an independent company under BBK Electronics. And I think this is just my analysis, and that is that Carl Pei left OnePlus for this only reason, because he couldn't stand seeing OnePlus at this stage.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, no, this is not what I wanted. Yeah, I'm done with
Exactly.
this. Yeah.
And
And to
uh
be honest, OnePlus had two main peaks for me. One was the OnePlus 5T. That was one thing. I was really excited for the OnePlus 5T.
yeah.
And then another, God, my light. It's fucking
Oh man, I feel you.
awesome. Yeah.
আমারও
So
হয়
like the
ভিডিও
OnePlus
এডিটিং এ।
5T, that one, and the OnePlus 7T Pro. These are the two peaks for me.
I
And
agree,
I
bro. I
like,
agree with you. Those two were pretty exciting, and they did bring that hype, and they did meet up those hypes though. Like, it wasn't like they
yeah,
overpromised and underdelivered. They overpromised and they actually overdelivered.
yeah, they did. It was the best phones out of all of them. Speaking
So
of which,
yeah,
my mom actually uses a OnePlus 6, and
yeah,
actually I liked it quite a bit. But I like there's one thing, like they gave updates. Yes, they gave updates on the phone. It's like on one Android 10, Android 10. I think it's Android 10. Uh, but they never change the design. Like Samsung, when you get updates, the design changes, right? Like you get the new
every
One UI
year.
version. Yeah, but the design stayed exactly the same from like Android 9 to Android 10. It stayed the same. They just updated it. Nothing changed at all.
To be honest, I kind of dig into that minimal look. And speaking of which, ColorOS and OxygenOS are merging. That means ColorOS and OxygenOS are the same. Will have the same high resource usage and make their phones buggy, filled with ads. And oh my God, OnePlus,
It's
this
just
is not
nightmare at
what
this
you are
point.
known for.
Yeah, this is a nightmare, and it really sucks to see the companies going at way like going away like this. Samsung, OnePlus, they've all let me down. They say they won't let me
Yeah.
down, but they let me down.
Yeah. So I think that wraps it all up for today. Thanks
Yeah,
for coming, bro. I really had a great time. Hope
me
you
too.
enjoyed it too. And guys, I hope you enjoyed it this as well. So do subscribe, leave a like down below, and do comment your feedbacks on how we can improve our podcast furthermore. And that's me signing off. See you in the next one.